Well, aloha and welcome to the Lolo Brothers show. I'm Damon.
I'm Joe. We're back for number
We're
2.
We're back for more fun and excitement, and we got a really good show for you today.
Pretty crazy. What was that video all about?
Well, you know, I
quite
think about
interesting.
things, and I have an artistic point of view. And
What made you think about that?
Well, actually, it was the song. The song, it just kind of popped in my head, and it was there, and I literally walked around the house all day yesterday with that song in my head. It was quite, yeah, I know.
That's what's under there, huh?
It's kind of crazy. I'd like to share it with you. I'm glad I can.
You scare me sometimes.
Well,
You know.
welcome to our show. We're coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza at the core of downtown Honolulu, which is Chinatown, which is town. And you came to town again. You're working in town now, bro.
I did, yeah.
That's great.
I don't know. I'm
All
not used
right.
to it.
So that's it. We can probably go right on to the current events. I think that's probably a good way to. We got to pay the bills a little bit. So
Current events already? Because Jay said so?
current events because Jay said so.
Well, today's current event is, well, the storms.
The storms.
Had a lot of storms around here lately.
For those of you who don't live in Hawaii, we've been plagued by one hurricane that nearly hits us, by another hurricane that nearly hits us, by another one that, and it's been humid and nasty
And
and
it's
ugly.
creating great surf.
It's creating huge surf on the East Shores.
And I haven't been out to shoot it, because this is what I do normally. But
Yep.
I'm missing all these great pictures and these 15-foot waves.
And I'm
So
sure
the
there's-
current event is,
I'm sure
storms are on the front, buddy.
Storms are coming,
Watch
man. We have
out.
another one behind it, another one behind that. Should be fun.
Yeah, it's a stormy kind of
I got
season.
batteries and SpaghettiOs. I'm pretty good to go.
SpaghettiOs?
So.
I've never eaten SpaghettiOs
Really?
in my life.
Well, you know, in a
I'm
pinch.
Italian, man.
You
I eat
Oh.
fresh Italian food
Okay.
only.
Well, how's that going
I
to
didn't
work?
let my kids eat SpaghettiOs.
How's that gonna
Really,
work if
they
you're in a
never had a
hurricane?
can of SpaghettiOs in their entire life.
How are you going to
Right,
eat
kids?
canned food if
Isn't that
it's not
fun?
SpaghettiOs?
They pretty much ate meatballs and all the best stuff, homemade,
Homemade
all the time.
meatballs?
So what do you got? You got some more stuff there?
I think I need to tell you that at ThinkTech, we're raising public awareness about technology, energy, globalization, and diversification.
Wow.
I'm sure we're, again, probably not going to cover much of that tonight. So,
That's on the paper, huh? 'Cause
It is on the paper.
I can't imagine you have that in your head.
That really cannot pull that out of my head that much. The
crazy.
piranhas, the galactic piranhas, not a problem, but that,
Yeah,
just please.
that's scary.
I don't remember phone numbers either, so.
And you can tweet us, huh?
You can tweet us. I don't
We
know
have
what the
Twitter.
tweeter is, but
Twitter.
you can.
What is Twitter?
Twitter is it's a thing where you.
Do you ever think of
like- it's
you ever
like-
think of words like that?
It's
Twitter?
like text messaging that, I don't know, it's
Shouldn't
really
it be
fast.
tweeter? If you
Tweeter.
tweet, shouldn't it be tweeter?
No, that's if you like are consistently tweeting, you would be a tweeter.
I don't know.
Like a tweaker?
Yeah, but who came up with the word? You ever think of that? Who comes up with words?
I don't know.
Like tweeter.
Webster,
Twitter.
right?
Who
Or
thinks
he's-
of that? Who's the first person that ever said, I'm just gonna Twitter something?
We shouldn't be talking about this too much because I'll talk about what happens after you tweeted,
right.
and we digress there. So.
I want to know more about it though.
Right. Oh, and another thing that was kind of interesting in the news today, China's having a big parade, dude. It's like a huge, it's a huge, big parade. And
Interesting.
they're having trained monkeys to go up into the trees and scare away the birds because they're afraid that when they do the jet flyovers that the birds are going to get into the intakes and, mass hysteria.
They want it absolutely perfect, huh?
Trained monkeys.
They want it so perfect they have
China's
monkeys
got
scaring the birds
trained
out of the
monkeys.
trees,
We should
man.
be
That's
scared.
incredible.
All right, so what did we do last weekend, brother?
I don't know. We went out. Oh, Friday night.
Friday night was epic. Kiss night.
Kiss Night was probably one of the best shows I've seen in a long time.
Honestly, probably
It was
the most
absolutely
fun
awesome.
I've had in as long as I can remember. We had a good time.
People running around
We
in
got a
makeup
little-
like high school and
Oh, it was
back
great.
in the old days.
It was like
Yeah.
a prom night, kind of, for
Kinda,
us.
rock and roll prom,
guys.
Kinda, a little bit.
We have a video of that we're going to show you about Kiss Night, so if Zuri could run that now, that'd be awesome.
I gather darkness, please, man. And I commanded man. Together I have you. The feelings will never show. We start falling up so much you will never know.
Yeah,
That
Kiss
was awesome.
night. It was so
That was
much
so
fun.
yeah.
I want to thank the Hawaii chapter of the Kiss Army for showing up
Army,
in
yeah.
force, man. We really did it, and we rocked the house. Hey,
was-
I had a little comment for you, though, Joe. What the heck was with the Chip and Dale outfit?
It was supposed to be Paul Stanley.
Paul Stanley.
He wore leather pants and no shirt, right?
Looked like
But,
that was a
I
little
mean, I don't
reminiscent
know.
of the Chip and Dale. Of course, I had full-on face
I guess
paint.
I'll take that as a compliment there, buddy.
No, you look good.
You know,
Busy. You're
At
working
my
out.
age, Chippendale.
You're working out,
I'll
brother.
take it, man.
You're working
Thanks.
out. That's for
Thanks.
sure. Right on.
And those pants are like 25 years old.
And they still fit.
me.
Yeah,
so,
okay, well, that's good.
Thank you.
It's important for that. You know, eat healthy and stay lean.
Eat healthy.
That's
and
what it is.
Eat a lot of Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
That's what I
Sure,
do.
you don't want pie?
And broccoli.
What about pies,
Broccoli's
Joe?
good with ice cream.
I happen to know you have a fondness for the hapia pie.
Chocolate jalapeno pie.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
That's why I kind of go to the gym.
You know,
Just to eat the pie.
I had a question though. Key lime pies.
Key lime. I'd never had it in my life.
Well,
Ever.
I just want to know what the key is. I mean, is it?
I kind of thought about that myself.
There's no keys inside of it. What if you had? It's kind of
Key
maybe.
lime?
Maybe it's like Lord of the Rings.
that
One
a special
key
kind of lime?
pie to rule all the other pies.
Master key.
Master key lime pie. Yeah, that's it, brother.
Speaking of keys,
Speaking of keys, you know what? We need to talk about Metal
Wait.
Fest Saturday. Saturday, we were exhausted after Kiss Night, but
I
we
can't believe we even made it out.
ponied up, man. We went out.
Thanks to somebody who gave us guest passes, we kind of had
shouts
to
out
go.
for Bone Cam. We love
It's
you
your
guys.
fault.
Yeah, and we had a
Venus.
blast.
Your fault.
For those of you at home that don't know what Metal Fest sounds like, you might want to turn the volume down on your television because we're going to run you a little clip here that what it is. It's pretty heavy. So. Well, there you go.
That was,
I
what
got
was that?
That was Metal Fest.
Wow.
And I got to say, metal, I think, has changed a
pretty
bit
metal.
from when I was in the metal when I was a kid. It was more Judas Priest, and there seemed to be
When
a
I was
lot
a
of.
kid, wait, aren't we the same age again?
We are the same age.
I was a Black Sabbath
Well,
guy,
Black
remember?
Sabbath and-
That got cut out of the last segment, by
It
the way.
did. We lost
had
power.
a blackout, and my whole Black Sabbath segment got cut out.
I know.
I'm really a Black Sabbath fan by heart.
The new metal, though, it seemed to have a lot of Cookie Monster, rah, 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 cookies. Cookie Monster vocals.
Ow.
I don't know. I'm
don't
trying to
know. That's pretty
understand,
crazy,
you know,
man.
and there it is. I did the best I can.
Huh.
All
Interesting.
apologies. It was a really fun night. We had a good time, really.
That was
So our guest tonight, didn't mean to slap the table. Our guest tonight is Brian Thompson. And,
Brian from Thunder Studios.
Thunder Studios. He's also in a band called Sire,
Sire. great
Lords
band.
of the Rock.
Lords of this rock.
Of the
Big
Rock,
rock.
meaning the Rock Hawaii. We had a big conversation about that one time with Ted. He was kind of really, yeah. And then while the whole time Neil was cracking really filthy jokes, none of which I can share with you right now.
We won't have Neil on for a while.
Yeah, I think
Maybe we'll
if
hold
we
off
have
on
Neil
him
on
for a
this
little
show,
bit.
definitely not gonna.
Can you
have
guys
that,
bleep? Because we'd be bleeping.
yeah, it would be the whole
Maybe
thing.
we
would
should
be
have him
bleeping.
at our green screen first.
told me that
We
stuff
could
I
bleep
can't
him out,
unlearn.
man.
I was a little concerned about that.
We got a video for Sire, though,
We got a
right?
video for Sire. I
Show a
was
little
up.
video.
Actually, this was like the third show I ever videotaped, so hopefully it turned out good.
Wow,
And,
I hope so,
That was
too.
the first time I saw those guys, and it was like February, I believe.
Wow.
At Crossroads. So Hawaiian
while ago
Brian's
already.
Crossroads, great place to shoot. So anytime you're ready to shoot that video, go right.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on ThinkTech Hawaii. Center Stage airs every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and of course you can check out our archives on YouTube or on ThinkTech Hawaii anytime you like. Why should you do that? Because this is an arts show that I believe is making a difference in lives. We talk with artists of various ilk. We talk with painters and writers, playwrights, novelists, poets, sculptors, dancers, you name it, directors, actors, of course. And we don't only talk about what people do, but we talk about how they do it. And my favorite part of the conversation, we talk about why they do it. And it's really common on this show to hear people say, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And it's very common to hear people afterwards who have seen the show say the same thing. And I hear all the time that people are inspired by the conversations that we have. So why don't you join us and be inspired too? That's Center Stage on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. We'll see you Center Stage.
Well, hello. We're the Lolo Brothers. We're back for our second segment.
We're back.
This is Brian Thompson from Thunder
Brian.
Studios and of the band Sire. Your band Sire, you just saw the video of. That was a fun gig. I believe you were maybe a little bit inebriated.
Yeah, it was my birthday.
It was
You
his
know, that's
birthday.
funny. It was the first time I saw them, and I remember you talking in between.
You know, a lot of times the guys say, don't give the drummer.
Go to commercial.
That's probably
Don't give the drummer a
a perfect
microphone.
example of don't give the drummer.
All right.
Okay, I'm Jay Fidel, that's Ray Starling. We co-host a show called Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. It's really interesting. You know, Ray has a way of unzipping these guys. He asks them these questions and all this stuff tumbles out, and we find out stuff we would never know about without Ray's questions. Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome, Jay. I'm very pleased to be your Ed McMahon every Wednesday at 4 o'clock here on the internet. So you can join us and see what's happening in the energy world, and there is a lot going on. So join us every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, come around, be energized, right here on ThinkTech. Aloha. I'm Jay Fidel with
Mahalo for watching ThinkTech Hawaii. We are a channel dedicated to raising public awareness about the importance of technology, energy, diversification, and globalism to the future of Hawaii. We broadcast and stream daily from 1 to 5 every weekday, and we broadcast on Olelo 54 and OC16 TV. All of our shows are archived on thinktechhawaii.com, and we hope to see you there.
This is the
Aloha.
Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but at least this week we have pens. Shout out to Mike.
Technical. That's another topic we do every show.
Technical?
Technology.
Yeah, technology is awesome.
today, though.
And
Today we have Brian.
we have Brian today, and
Thanks for
again,
having me.
Oh, hey, thanks for coming, brother. We're gonna have fun
Appreciate
today. So you have a studio, Thunder Studios.
Absolutely, yep.
And you're in the band Sire.
Yep.
And how's that working out for you?
So far, so good. Studio is doing really well. We're getting ready to expand here probably the next month or so.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
right now we have 2 rooms, and we double as a rehearsal studio, as Joe, you know. And
And it's a
my
recording
favorite
studio
place.
as
we're a
well.
recording studio,
And
working with a lot of
rehearsals.
great bands. We've worked with Bone Canyon. We've worked with All the Pieces.
Right. Oh, I
You
like
get
that
a lot
band.
of, you get a lot of local bands, like other than
yeah,
other
we're-
than people we all know, like the
Oh, yeah.
rock bands. You get
We get
everybody.
everybody. Right now, I'm working with a band called Cultural Movement.
Cultural movement.
Reggae band.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Cool.
They came in. They actually came in. It's funny because they booked a 2-hour rehearsal and a 2-hour recording. And if you know anything about music and recording it, you really can't do a whole lot in 2 hours.
No, you can't. You
That's
can pretty
like
much set
that's
the
like
mics
warm
up.
up, man.
But I will tell you, these guys came in and killed it. They wanted to do a live recording, so they spent the first 2 hours rehearsing, and then I had everything mic'd up, and we recorded it, and it was
One take.
it was
One take.
it was literally like something that
Magical.
commercial.
That's fun.
Very rarely do I take a CD and put it in my truck and then roll down the window and be like, "Hey man, I'm cool," and have it up on
Right.
25.
Wow.
Yeah, this one was definitely
What was the
good.
name of that band again?
Cultural Movement.
Cultural Movement.
Movement.
Reggae band.
Reggae band,
Which is
So-
good. Lolo Brothers
Really
do
good.
all music, so.
And you play drums, so you
Yeah,
know, you're
playing
like a
drums.
crazy drummer. One
Play-
time, the first time we saw you, and I went, Damon and you.
Yeah, you were a
you
little
guys
bit
in the
crazy
same
on
room
that
would
first
kind of be
show.
scary because
Yeah.
He had been drinking a little bit, I believe.
he liked to talk in between.
He was in
songs,
rare
so,
form.
Yeah, it
Rare
was fun. I thoroughly
It
enjoyed
looked like
it.
you were having a good time.
No, I was having a good time.
Yeah.
I kind of have an alter ego, because I got to kind of keep myself reserved during the day.
Right?
Because as we were talking before, and you're talking about the weather, my day job, I'm a meteorologist.
Wow.
So that's why my hair.
I
is
swear I would never.
Yeah. You would never know. But
So
yeah.
you got
Hey,
a
that's
show
the
on the
purpose
news
of this
kind
show, right? To find
Yeah.
out weird things about people.
That's
weird
why
people.
we're doing this show.
So
Our friend.
for many years, I was actually in the Air Force. I retired after 20 years, but I had to keep myself reserved.
Right.
But I did music
Reserved.
and everything else. But yeah, now I can kind of let myself.
So you did that in the Air Force, meteorology.
Yeah, I was a meteorologist in the Air Force for 20 years.
So that we can
fly a
figure
lot?
out the planes.
Never did.
No
Never
flying?
Did. No flying. No flying.
Air
I
Force,
spent
meteorologist.
a lot of time in
It's like,
Korea.
It's like I was in the Navy and I never went on a ship.
That's
Go
crazy,
figure.
dude.
I was a Seabee though.
How can you
know.
be in the Navy and not ever be on a ship?
I've been on a ship.
I was in construction.
That's it. Building stuff.
Yep,
Yeah,
built
that
stuff.
makes sense.
We flew everywhere.
I did.
And we drank all the alcohol on the plane.
That you could get your hands on.
I did a show on the U.S. Abraham Lincoln back in 2003. I was a tour manager for Wayne Newton.
Oh,
People. So you mentioned never being on a ship. I'm an Air Force guy, and I was actually active duty then. I would take leave, and I would double as a tour manager for USO. So actually, in the Persian Gulf, we did
Wayne
a,
Newton. Man, this guy is full of facts.
that's a fun fact.
Wayne Newton, meteorologist,
yeah.
crazy drummer.
Yeah.
What else? Family? You got family?
Yeah, I've got some kids.
Got some kids?
Some.
Collect them?
I got a few kids. Yeah, my
some
daughter lives in L.A. She's 22 years old.
Right.
My son is going to be 21.
21.
And
yeah.
he-
They're right behind my kids. My kids they scattered already too.
And,
so.
and then today's actually my son's birthday, my oldest.
Oh,
He's
wow.
Still living home?
16.
Shout out.
16, so, yep.
Nice.
So happy birthday.
There's a
I don't think he's watching.
Probably
so-
not.
So,
We're going live right now, but
He'll
next
watch the
time you
recorded
can
version,
watch the
guaranteed.
recorded
yeah,
version.
yeah, maybe.
Dad is
so,
home. They live at home, yeah. Both of
yeah,
them still?
living at home. Dad lives at the studio because I'm there about 24/7,
Right, yeah,
working all the
yeah,
time,
yeah.
trying to make the
Imagine.
bills and keep the studio.
So there's a
going.
Mrs. Bryan or
There is not.
Oh! There you go, ladies.
So, yeah, so.
He's probably available for the
Not Brian,
snacking
just
up.
Brian, is it?
Nah, yeah, Brian, just Brian.
That's great.
So, but yeah, just stay busy all the time. Try to work and do music and
One more time, Zuri.
recording, rehearsal, and everything. So
Oh, the joke. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to the joke. I have a joke.
have
Didn't
a
mean to
joke?
interrupt you, but I have a really funny joke that's kind
It
of
better
funny.
be funny to interrupt this guy.
Actually, I shouldn't have interrupted. I'm sorry about that, but I was thinking about this joke. I have Zuri in my ear, in case you don't know. She's like a little magical ear fairy.
I don't because I'm the deaf guy.
He's deaf. We
I
weren't
can't
gonna give
hear.
him. We weren't gonna give him that.
Let me
Anyways,
go, what?
my joke that makes no sense is this. Okay, if Pluto was a dog, what was Goofy? Because Goofy looked like a freaking dog, right? Am I right? I'm curious about this.
Yeah.
They think that this is,
You know, I got something to add to that.
yeah?
Because this was kind of crazy, and when I was like 10 years old, I'm watching this on TV, okay? Like, it was either Pluto or Goofy and Mickey, and they were chasing like this key, you know, the big master keys?
Oh,
the
yeah.
and they were chasing it, and neither one could catch it, and it was bouncing all over, and it lands in a Turkish water pipe.
Really?
So they're like, grab a straw, you know, hose on both ends, and they're like, and the key's going through the bun.
We might need to
And then
check
the other
it.
one's putting it on, and it's going back the other way, and their eyes are getting red and getting droopy.
We might need to check
Now I'm
facts
10 years
on that.
old, and I'm watching this, and I'm going,
Huh.
you know, and now that I think of this, I'm going, what the heck was going on when we were kids, man?
We might have to check the facts on that. See if we can't find a.
It could have
little
been a dream,
animated
but I'm pretty sure it was
clip
real,
where
buddy.
we could show that because that would really be
Yeah,
hilarious.
So that was your joke, huh?
So your thoughts on Pluto?
I have no idea what the heck
We
we're
got
talking
kids,
about.
man.
I think I'm kind of.
Do you remember Barney?
I feel like I'm overdressed.
You remember Barney,
man.
right?
Hold on just a second.
Barney?
you go.
Purple?
There we go. That's
Yeah,
better.
I feel like I'm overdressed with these guys, man.
Now I'm scared.
You
Hold
know,
on a second.
know
Yeah,
love
that's
now.
everybody knows me.
now would be a good time
I
to
feel
go
like
into-
the weatherman.
Brian we know, yeah.
there we go.
There we go.
That's crazy,
I
dude.
think
So
that would be a
anyways,
good
now
time.
what were we talking
I
about?
wish
think
I had
now
that
would-
kind of hair.
Yeah, what were we talking
I
about?
think now would be a good time to go into the cocktail segment of the show. Just
Woo,
down and
man.
out. We can do that. on
We don't
TV.
have
guys
any
are
pizza
silly,
in front of
man.
us,
You
so
guys
we'll
are
just have a
silly.
drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
You know, we'll save the pizza for later.
Free zone
After
at
the
this
show.
point. Although we did have a good pizza session with our friends.
We eat pizza regularly.
and, yeah.
I love pizza.
And,
Plain.
Yeah.
I'm a cheese kind of guy.
No mushrooms?
Actually, I don't even put cheese anymore.
How
I
about
just
you?
eat
How do you like your
crust.
pizza?
I just like plain
Plain pizza?
pizza.
I make my own now with like.
Actually, I like
broccoli.
brick oven pizza.
Brick oven pizza.
I actually made a brick oven at my house.
Yeah.
So
We had
Just
pizza
to
at
make
the,
pizza?
the Kiss show, man. Nathan had like 15 pizzas scattered all over the place.
It did.
And I don't like eating that kind of stuff before I sing. And of course, I show up hungry,
Yeah.
and I ate like 3 slices of
Yeah.
pizza.
Well, there you go.
And my stomach was going.
Yeah. And then you had to sing.
I
You
did
look
all right.
good though. Your
It
little
did all right.
Chippendale.
You're gonna keep bringing that up, aren't you?
It's kind of funny, dude. I like it though.
Okay, now I'm proud of it. Okay,
All right.
so there.
Cool. So this week we also had time to have the girls over at our other studio,
Oh,
and that was a lot of fun.
that was crazy.
So
I was
and
scared,
as promised
actually.
last week, we're
I
gonna.
was a little nervous.
Well, they started talking, and it was like, okay, there it is.
It was
So we
crazy.
captured some of that, and we're going to share that with you. This is Kathy Lowenberg, Helena Barron,
Speaking of recording,
and Nancy
you know,
Christensen.
Brian
which
records.
some of those guys have been in your
Yeah, yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
Every
And they
week.
Every week.
Every week.
I think they were talking about recording and stuff too. Yeah,
Right on.
he does that in the studio.
All right, we're going to watch this thing, and it's a segment we're going to call, well, they named it, Broad Topic.
Broad topic, perfect.
So-
yeah.
Hi, this is Broad Topic. I'm Helena here with Kat and Nance, and we're going to talk about current events and other things from a female perspective.
Which we all have. Yeah, so I was late today because I got stuck in the shower.
How
I
do
don't
you
know
get
if you
stuck in
ladies
the
have ever
shower?
experienced that.
Never.
I have.
Ever.
It was a closing door shower.
That's what it
Is that what
is, and it's
happened?
like a
It
it's
got
like
a
a
little-
vertical coffin
Like
with
you-
windows, and I couldn't get out of it.
Physically got caught.
Yeah,
Did you have to call Jeff?
because I'm blonde.
No. How
Jeff,
did
is
you
that
get
weird?
out?
Well, I
Just-
did this a bunch, and I broke a nail,
Oh,
and
You did not.
And-
You're just saying that. You did not break a nail.
yeah, I did.
she
See?
just showed us her broken nail.
Right there. And it was panic. It was a moment of panic because I'm claustrophobic, and I had this coffin around me with windows, and there was nobody out there because my husband's at work. Yeah. And then the neighbor started stomping on the ceiling to get me to shut up because I was banging on the, so.
I have never heard of that. I've never heard
totally
of it
gotten
getting
stuck.
caught.
I was younger. And I got stuck in the shower. I had to
You
like.
still are younger.
I had to reach over the top because it was like open
Yeah.
over the door, right? And I had to reach over the top and pry it open from the outside. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm going to do it again tomorrow. It's not going to stop me from getting back in there and getting stuck again. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just carry a crowbar in there with me, and then I can frantically break out the windows and yeah. So that was my fun thing.
I showed up at the exact same time as you because I'm late.
Because you were
Late.
Okay, you know what really gets me about a lot of the way things are done in music these days?
What gets you?
At the our level. For one thing, people are cutting demos and calling them albums, and to me, if it's an album, it's on Capitol Records or do they even exist anymore?
I feel you.
I don't know, but everybody says, "Oh, I have an album. I'm cutting an album," and I'm like,
right.
"Who are you signed with?" Well, we're doing it ourselves. Well, then it's not an album; it's a demo. Sorry.
Wait, I don't
And the
understand
other thing
I
is-
actually don't understand the difference.
Because that's the demo you created. That's what you would take to the record company to produce your
Okay,
album.
but so if you're looking at Hawaii, who's doing an album then? If you're saying a
There's
demo is not an
companies.
album, how can you do an album if you don't have a company?
We
What if
do.
you
They
just
have
what if
their
you
recs.
record it on your
There's a
own?
bunch-
Mountain
different-
Apple.
Yeah, there's records.
But what if
Who else?
you're recording on your own? Is that an album?
No.
I don't
No.
see now. I don't understand.
Well,
Well, I guess it's how you define album, right? If you just
Well, how do you define album?
as something put out by record producers.
something that somebody pays me to do is an album. Something I do myself is a demo. And there's no shame in it. It's even
Oh,
better
okay,
because it's
so you
like,
just
wow, for a
shouldn't call
demo,
it-
this is awesome. For an album, this sucks.
Well, who? So I'm still confused. So who locally? Which rock bands locally are doing albums? And
None
I know
of them.
that-
None
well,
of
I know
us.
some independent people like Eric Lagrimas has, I think, Pass Out Records. I mean, there's some rock
Well, they have
people
their
doing
own
local stuff. but-
labels.
Okay,
That's
so
kinda
is that
cheating.
an album?
No.
See, I don't. Okay. I didn't know that.
Well, that's just my...
Well, then
This is
are
my
there
opinion,
are there
man.
any because of course you've got local maybe island or
Right,
Hawaiian doing
right.
albums then, but as far as rock,
Henry
who would be-
does...
but
Henry
rock.
Capono does albums.
Okay, but as
somebody
far as
pays
rock,
him and,
who's doing rock albums then?
Nobody is.
Because they're not getting
They're not
paid
signed.
to do it.
They're
Oh.
not signed. Nobody's funding their tour. They're doing crowdfunding, which is another thing that... Don't even get me started on crowdfunding. Thanks for watching. This has been Broad Topic with me. I'm Nancy. Kat, and Helena. Stay tuned next week when we talk about more hot topics and current events and things that are pissing us off. And thanks for joining us. See you then.
So it was kind of funny. We brought these girls together and had them in our studio, and they just kept talking about these amazing, fascinating things that were.
We actually have hours of footage.
Yeah, there's.
We
And I
can't
had
show
to,
it all in one show.
They probably need their own show.
We had to
actually.
cut them off after a while.
Girls, I don't care where you go, but you can't stay here, right? Right? Is that how it goes when you cut off? I wasn't drunk inside. You threw me outside. Is it drunken in public, right?
Yeah.
Funny about the recording and all that stuff. They
Yeah, no,
touch on
it's
some
interesting
good
the
topics.
recording. Yeah, because
And you record at the studio, right? You
Right,
guys do
yeah, yeah.
recording.
it's probably reasonable. Yeah.
Bands can come
Yeah.
in and record.
Yep, I get people that come in and ask about, hey, we want to record a demo or we want to record an album.
Right,
So
right.
I think that was part of the conversation too. So.
Well, I believe that an album is like it's got a cover, it's got there's 10 songs on it minimum, and it's an art form that I believe is lost. Because now we
Right.
have this. It's all download this and download that, and I
Again,
don't-
it's all about technology, man. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
and I
so
don't-
easy to do stuff nowadays. It's,
And I don't know if you'd call it
Do it
a
yourself.
demo, just because you were the one that funded it and put it out and recorded it. I don't think the recording industry's so turned around right now, anyways, that
it's a new world, man.
the
You know,
guys
we're older.
the guys aren't getting signed anymore.
We're like dinosaurs. We remember what albums. I still have albums.
Yep.
Yeah.
I still
But
have my
albums are
high
beautiful,
school
man.
album collection.
Because you could look at the art, and read the words, and and I make albums. I do make little albums. Damon and the Stoned Astronauts.
Today is high speed. Everybody wants it now.
Yeah,
Yesterday.
and they just want the one song that they want, man.
I got a good one. What do you guys think of like these really like Facebook? You go on Facebook and you see this 4-year-old drummer that has like every note down. Dad's got the headphones on and they're bigger than the kid's head. It kind of brings me down a little bit, man, because I kind of wonder, what are these kids going through every day to learn this kind of stuff?
Maybe
are they doing it because Dad wants them to do it?
Or are they doing it because they love doing it?
And
That's a good question.
that's a funny thing that you mentioned that, because with the rehearsal studio, we had one drummer. I'm not gonna mention his name,
Yeah, we know.
but we had one drummer that came in the studio, and I remember the day that he walked in, because I didn't even think that he was in the band, because he's running around and he was like really hyper, and I was like, dude, you need to go sit yourself in the control room.
And he was the one playing.
And he was the drummer. And he was the drummer.
Need something to bang
But
on,
he was
right?
he was literally, I want to say maybe 8 or 9 years old, but just phenomenal.
Right.
And I talked with his parents, and I said, how do you? I mean, this kid actually had mannerisms like an adult, like
Right.
you would see,
Yeah.
And if you believe in reincarnation, I mean, it was literally it was weird, but this was all natural talent. This kid had never taken a lesson.
Well, that
in his
wasn't
life.
mine and Joe's experience. We're kind of
So,
never been prodigies. Anyways, we need to kind of go to the next break here. So
We have another break?
we have a break coming up, Joe. We have to take it.
I like breaks.
We'll come back and we'll talk more with Brian about all things Lolo. So.
Aloha, how you doing? I'm Gordo the Tech Czar, here on ThinkTech Hawaii, where we co-host Hibachi Talk, where we talk about technology and bring in all kinds of cool guests. Also, my co-host with me today is
Andrew the security guy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching ThinkTech Hawaii, and thanks for watching Hibachi Talk. We also have Angus.
And you there, lad? It's Angus. I bring in all kinds of wee things. Oh, look, you can see my lips moving.
Well, we're back. We're the Lolo Brothers. I'm Damon and Joe, and we're here with Brian Thompson today. And we're just having some fascinating conversations about bands and music. But really, my question is this. When is the sticky weather going to stop? And as it turns out, we have our own meteorologist right here on the set.
Really?
So we might
Hold on a second. Let me get
Okay, Brian, what's going on here, really? Let's go to the green screen.
everybody gives Guy Hoggy a bad time, right? Because he's usually wrong.
Can you explain what is going behind us? Look at
So,
that. What is
we
that
have
there?
you
Oh
here.
wow!
Milky
Yeah,
Way?
that's wow.
That's a Hubble shot, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's a Hubble shot.
Wow.
The space. It's pretty space.
It's been a while since I did the TV weather.
Explain what's going on here, man.
Okay.
But as far as the weather goes, yeah, this is kind of strange.
Really?
Pattern
It's never
that
seen
we have
this
here
as
going
long
on
as
right
I've lived here, and I've lived
now.
here
There's this thing called
while.
El Nino.
I know about El Nino.
El Nino is I don't want to get real scientific on everybody.
Well, keep it
You know what? We should make
layman's
it. Let's make it kind of crazy a little bit.
Yeah,
Let me
let's
get
do
my
that.
hair all
Let's do
crazy, like the
Brian
mad
style.
scientist.
Wow,
Okay,
dude.
and I'm gonna explain
I'm
El
scared
Nino
now.
with my
Okay.
crazy hair.
Now it's
Okay,
on.
so now-
Brian,
Okay, here it is. We're going to talk about El Nino today. But actually, El Nino is
El Nino?
is a warming. It's a natural phenomena that occurs all the time, about every couple years. And what happens is you get this unusual warming of the ocean water off the coast of South and North America. And what happens, because that's typically very cold, especially if you ever dove or surfed off the coast of California.
I have.
Yeah, but now we got
I
this
learned to surf in Seattle.
large area of hot
Really
water
cold.
that's sitting right.
Who knew we learned this on Lolo Brothers?
Yeah.
I told you, if you watch ThinkTech, you might learn something.
Yeah, but yeah. So we have this large hot body of water. That sounds pretty hot, Some hot body of water between here and Hawaii, or between here and
That's
the
where
East
the
Coast
hurricanes are hanging.
to the west coast of the United States,
Yeah.
and the hot water is what really fuels the hurricanes.
So when they get close to us, we got cold water kind of surrounding.
Well, not really.
Scares
And
them
as
away
we
a
get,
little bit, huh?
not really.
If
And-
you've been in the ocean recently, it's not
Yeah, it's
cool
pretty
at all.
steamy,
It's
and I was
Because,
looking
like,
at.
yeah, normally like Waikiki or I go jump in, it's usually like whoo,
Yeah,
cold.
but yeah,
Not
it's
lately,
going to
no.
be this is going to continue on for quite
Okay.
some time. Now I looked
Let
at
me
the,
know when.
I looked at the forecast models today, and good news for us is the hurricanes continue to skirt off to our east and move north.
Yes.
That's just based on the long.
We're excited about
and all
that.
this kind of stuff.
It's making it sticky.
You
It's
know,
cutting off
I
the
live
rays.
with a meteorologist myself.
But the downside of all of this craziness is it's breaking up our trade winds, and the trade winds are
It's
what
just
brings us
miserable.
all this beautiful weather that
It's
we,
all
we love
socked
so
in.
much here in Hawaii. So
It feels kind of like Louisiana.
buy some stock
be
in air
honest.
conditioners.
Kind of like Jersey. It's like
Yeah.
New Jersey right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hot. It's hot and sticky. It's kind of like the Philippines.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
it's just been crazy.
So, but yeah, so it's going to continue on, and I'm going to say this, that about another 2 weeks.
Okay.
So
That's it. Well, that was our show tonight. It went way faster than we thought it
That was
would.
great.
Had a good time, and
Come back next week
come
when our
back
guest
next week.
is.
So we don't know.
We don't know. It could be
we'll,
you.
We'll figure that. It could be you. Everybody's got a
If
story.
you wanna
What's
be here,
yours?
Just let us know.